Okay, so as I said in the last video, this problem here is, it's much, much trickier. So please pay special attention. This is also in your book if you want to look and see step by step how they do this. The concept is relatively simple. It's like what we did before when it was like a 1, 2, and a -3. But now we have an irrational number, so it gets a little trickier. Okay, so what about if my roots were -2 and 1 plus the square root of 7? Well, I just learned from the irrational conjugates theorem, right, that if 1 plus the square root of 7 is one of my roots, then 1 minus the square root of 7 is also one of my roots. So we're going to treat this really is a number, okay? If you put it in your calculator, which I can do really fast, I have 1 plus the square root of 7. It's 3.6457, blah, blah, blah. So it's about 3.64. So it is one number, but we're going to keep it like this because this is perfectly accurate, whereas if we used a decimal, we'd be rounding, and that's not completely accurate. Okay, so let's set this up. One of these, we're going to have 3 of these, right? This one is going to be x plus 2, right? Because if I put -2 in here, then this becomes 0. All right, this is where it gets a little more complicated. We're treating this also like a number, and it's positive, okay? So we have x minus my number, 1 plus the square root of 7, okay? And then we have another one, x, okay, but this is 1 minus square root of 7. So x minus 1 minus the square root of 7, okay? So 3 numbers, 2, 3.64, 3.64. All right, so this is where it gets, just watch very closely, take really good notes. All right, this one's just going to hang out for a while because we really don't need to do anything with it. These, on the other hand, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to distribute the negative. So we have x minus 1 minus the square root of 7. Over here we have x minus 1 plus the square root of 7. I'm going to rewrite this here because I'm going to do something to it. So I've just got these long things here. And what I'm going to do, see how these are in parentheses? I'm just going to switch the parentheses over. So now the parentheses are going to go around x minus 1. Okay? So why in the world would I do that? Well, because now the situation I have a minus b, okay? A is x minus 1, b is square root of 7. I have a minus b times a plus b. That's the situation that I have right there. So how is it what do I get when I multiply these? Well, I'm going to get a squared minus b squared. So x plus 2 is still hanging out. Now we've got x minus 1 squared minus the square root of 7 squared, which is 7. Okay? Now, we just need to multiply this out. So we have x squared minus 2x plus 1, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, I've done this all day and my brain's a little fried, so I'm just going to make sure that I have this right. X squared minus 2x plus 1, yep. Minus 7. This now becomes, I'm going to come over here. This is x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x, okay, combine these terms, minus 6. And now I multiply. So x times x squared, x third, minus 2x squared, minus 6x, plus 2x squared, minus 4x, minus 12. So I distributed the x to get these three. I distributed the 2 to get these three. And now I combine like terms. So I've got x cubed. Okay, the 2x squares cancel out. Negative 6x minus 4x is negative 10x minus 12. And that is the answer. Okay, this is tricky, I know it is. But just watch, look at the steps very, very carefully.
Karen Ferreira, come to the main office, please. Karen Ferreira.
Karen Ferreira. I don't know who that is. Okay, but just look at the steps very, very carefully. And we'll go over more of these in class. I know these are hard. All right, so this was a big lesson. We covered a lot. And the homework has a little bit of everything in it. And believe it or not, this is going to be a little bit of a long assignment. And I've cut some problems out to make it shorter. So it used to be longer than this. I have a picture of I think it's the Acropolis. Acropolis? What's that thing called in Greece? The Acropolis? Did I say that right? That sounded funny. Anyway, and I don't remember why I do. So, oh yes, I do. One of the story problems is about this. That's what it is. Maybe I cut that. Okay, anyway, let me know if you have questions.